We all know that 70% of mothers have favorite child, and they do this without knowing the long-term effect it has on children. So guys, you're welcome back to my space. Today we want to talk about child favoritism, or you can call it parental favoritism. What I mean by child or parental favoritism is when one or both parents displays consistent favoritism, that is, favors one particular child over other children you have. And this favoritism can include spending more time with that particular child, less discipline, and some other privileges. As a parent, we usually try to remain neutral and treat our children equally. The task is harder than it sounds. Now let's talk about why parents have favorites. Sometimes parents tend to love any of their child who is smarter than the rest and very brilliant. Subconsciously, you will hear them praising that particular child in front of other children. Trust African mothers. See now. Hey, Hollandese, my doctor, my engineer. You know, they keep praising that child in front of other children. Now, another thing is this favoritism starts when you give birth to a child, and that child is a spitting resemblance of you. Like, this is your image in a little child. You tend to favor that child, or because this child looks like you. You'll be so proud that you have a child that looks like you. As that child is growing up, you realize that her mannerism, behaviors, and attitudes also reflects yours. You just feel so happy, you feel so proud to see yourself in her. Although you may not mean to, but you always favor her. Let's not just lie. You will always favor that child. Another thing that causes this favoritism is when you give birth to a child with a peculiar circumstances surrounding that child's birth. It can come before or after giving birth to that child. For example, most children bring sweat to the family, which makes the parents to favor them. Favor is always on their side because they brought so much favor. And it happened to my dad too. My dad will tell you that when he gave birth to our third daughter, that was the time he started building his first house that made him name her Obiangeli. Things like this can make parents to have favorites amongst their kids. Sometimes this favorite thing happens when a particular child is ill and maybe needs a special needs. It makes the parents always feel closer to that particular child, always give that child more attention than others because the child is a special needs child. So sometimes kids with special needs are also seen to be favorites of the family. This favoritism we are talking about have a long-time effect on children. And that is what we want to talk about. And the effects most times are long time. They can grow up with it. And some of these biggest dangers of favoritism are low self-esteem, anxiety, unstable or even traumatic reactions in personal relationships and performance for both the favored and non-favored children. Now, the non-favored child might develop low self-esteem, feelings of rejection, and independency. And this can have a long-time implications on interpersonal relationships as they grow into adults. Now, why the favored child you think you are doing something good for will start being resented by its other siblings? They will start hating that particular child you are always showing favor to. Guys, I'm just seeing squirrel from here because my door is open, and I was just looking out and I saw one big squirrel And I was just imagining catching it and roasting it like better bushmeat. We have an undeveloped land beside us here. So I was just looking at and I saw this big squirrel. And I started salivating, seeing myself eating it. So guys, now you think you are doing something good for the favored child. You don't know that you are indirectly creating enmity between siblings, because they will start hating that particular child you are always showing more favor to. And they grow up with this poisoned mindset towards their sibling. Most of the times, this favored child faces more problems. That child is always on pressure. He will want to keep up the star performance as the best of the best in the family. As a parent, the best approach to avoid favoritism is to stay aware of how you treat your children and try to remain as fair as possible. It might seem hard in some situations, but being conscious of your own actions and knowing that your children look up to you for equal love, attention, and guidance. If you find yourself playing favoritism, is normal, but you can correct your actions before it becomes late. Now, how do we correct our actions if you're already seeing yourself playing favoritism? For example, if you want to gift a child, make sure you have the resources to gift every other of your children. Unless you are gifting that particular child on a special event or occasion like birthday. And when you gift that child on his or her birthday, make sure you also do it for every of your other children during their birthdays. My daughter is smart, but she's very lazy. I scold her for being lazy more than I praise her for being smart. I try to balance it. Each time I'm cooking, my son is always around me. He wants to help me. Once we are done eating, he wants to clean the table, even if he doesn't know how to do it so perfect. But he's not that smart as my daughter. So what I do, I balance it. You see me this minute praising my daughter for being very smart academically. The next minute, if you see me, I'm scolding her for being lazy. You'll be like, no, be this woman where does they praise this girl. The next minute, you see me scolding my son for not trying to maybe pronounce something very well or do something that has to do with academics. The next minute, I'm praising him for being very good when it comes to taking care of some certain things in the house. So I make them feel equal. You can't feel less of yourself because I will make you believe that you are best in this and your sister is best in this. And it will make all of them to always have this equal mindset that nobody is perfect in this house. Everybody is equal. If you better pass this person for this thing, this person better pass you for this one. That is how you do it. If I want to buy something for my kids, I cannot afford maybe three pairs of slippers, I won't buy it. If I cannot afford 3 pairs of clothes at the same time, I won't buy it. I will just kukuma leave it. When I have the money, I make sure I'm fast. I'm buying something, unless on special occasions. If any of my children are celebrating their birthday, I will know that this person is celebrating their birthday. I will buy a gift and say, this is for your birthday. And I will try my best whenever the next person is celebrating his or her birthday, I will still do the same thing. I will still gift that person, even if it's not the same gift. But I will make sure that it's a gift because I have gifted the first person. So that is the only way you can balance this whole favoritism of a thing. So these kids can grow with siblings' love without trying to, have grudge and trying to be rivals among themselves and all those things. So I think at this point I have to stop, and I know you enjoyed this video. Please, if this is your first time coming across my video, oh my God, please just consider joining my family. Yeah, I'm a mom vlogger. As you can see, I'm a motherhood content creator. I talk about everything that has to do with motherhood, parenting, and lifestyle. So just consider joining this amazing family. If you are in this condition of favoritism, just redress yourself. I know that it's not easy. Just try and redress. Try and change your patterns of how you deal with kids, because these kids, they don't forget. Just try as you can. It's not easy, but we have to just try our best so our kids don't see us playing favoritism on them because of their personal relationships with people, with their siblings, and all those things. I love you guys. See you guys in my next video. Bye bye. Come.